What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Oak back on track. This time we're racing in the Lamborghini Essenza around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We've qualified P4, setting a time in the mid 123s. I will say the top three, they were all in the 122s. I think a lot of that difference was straight line speed, but overall this car did feel very good in the more technical sections of the track, especially again on that medium tire that we mentioned in the last video. So for our race strategy, we'll go to that aforementioned medium tire. We'll fuel in for just over 11 laps of fuel, and the driver on pole, as you can see, is also on the medium tire. So we'll assume that the top five should be on similar strategies. As always, plenty of questions to be answered as we count down for the start. And as we get going off the line, you'll see that we immediately start to lose time to the field around us as a result of that lack of straight line performance. More importantly, entering the braking zone for turn number one, the guy Starlord 7880 is going to completely outbrake himself. That's going to start off all sorts of chaos for us as we come through turns 3 and 4 here. We'll find ourselves now in 6th place, but as we come through turn 4, Forza Beast is going to knock us offline. That's going to leave us in 7th position, now in an absolute drag race with TO 978556. But we do outbrake TO, so that's going to be his race done and dusted as far as it goes with us. More importantly, the guys in front of us, they're going to continue to fight, and this is a section where the car felt absolutely phenomenal. So we do get a perfect 10 as we come through that section. More importantly, we get a very good run onto the guy in 6th place headed into turn number 12, but Forza is going to do a very good job of getting on the brakes as late as possible, so he'll be ahead as we come through turn number 13. However, I will say turn number 14 is a place where this car really did shine with this setup that I had on it. So we do get on the power a lot sooner. We use all of the available track. You then immediately see the weakness of the car, that being the straight line ability. So we'll tuck into the slip for just a second, take that inside line, drop it down into 2nd gear. He's going to cover off the inside move here. For both of us, we'll go wide. That'll give the guy in 8th position an opportunity to overtake us. So we've now dropped from 4th position starting on the grid to now 8th position as we come through turns 4 and 5 of lap number 2. I will say we do make very quick work of the 2 drivers ahead of us as we come through these next couple of sections. So starting off with the driver in 7th place here, we're going to just simply outbrake him, so we're going to retake 7th place. Fast forwarding only just a couple corners to the last corner, turn number 14 here, you see that we once again get a perfect 10 coming through this section. As a result, we're going to be in very good position to overtake headed into turn number 1 of lap 3. So spotting our braking point somewhere around the 100-meter board, we're going to drop it down into 2nd gear here, covering off that inside move. There is a bit of contact, no penalty for either party, as you can see here. And coming through turn number 4, we get a lot of very good late rotation, and then that's going to allow us to get on the power as early as possible. That'll give us a very good run coming down this straight, and more importantly, that'll give us a very nice gap between ourselves and the guy in 6th place. As we fast forward now only 2 laps, you'll see here that the gap has increased to almost 3 seconds between ourselves and the guy in 6th place. More importantly, the 2 drivers in 3rd and 4th place, a gap that was about 3 seconds has been reduced down now to a gap that's almost under 2 seconds, as we're now up almost a full second on our fastest lap coming through that middle section. Spotting our braking point for turn number 12 here, you'll see here that as we come into the pits, that gap is only now about 1.5 seconds. As we come in for our stop, we're going to swap in for a brand new set of medium tires. More importantly, however, as we come out of the pits, the Porsche driver is going to get ahead of the Lamborghini coming down into turn number 1. That's going to be one more barrier for us to get by if we want to get into that effective P4 position. More importantly, the guy King CH8 is going to go a bit wide as we come through turn number 10. That'll mean that we get that overtake done. Headed into turn number 12, you'll see just ahead, one of the drivers does have a bit of an incident. As we come through the smoke, we get our turn in just a bit too early, trying not to miss that turn, but we take a bit too much of the curve, so we're going to get about a half-second penalty. As a result, regardless of the penalty, we get a very good run onto Gexagon headed down the home straight here, so we'll get that overtake done as he struggled to get on the power. However, behind us, the driver who actually just had the incident into turn number 12, he seems to be struggling getting his car stopped, so he'll actually go wide now once again. Coming through turns 2 and 3, he'll hit us. We'll make contact with him as we come through turn number 4 here, and we are certainly losing a lot of time to the driver ahead who is in that effective P4 position. And we're actually going to lose even more time here as Gexagon is going to take the inside line, but he outbrakes himself. That'll mean that we actually have to dodge that move, losing us even more time. So a gap that was about half a second has now increased to almost 2 seconds as we're once again hit by the driver behind. We'll fast forward now to the middle of lap number 8, and you'll see here that we've put about a second between ourselves and the 2 drivers behind us who were certainly giving us a bit of problems as we try to make our way to a podium position for this race. More importantly, the 2 drivers ahead of us who are in 3rd and 4th position, effectively they're actually in a big battle as we come through turns 12 and 13. So a gap that had bubbled up to almost 3 seconds is now down to less than a second as we head into turn number 1 for lap number 9. Only 3 laps left in this race. You can see here that it is certainly becoming a bit of crunch time for all of the drivers involved here. So Chemist is here. He's going to take a bit too much of the curb as we come through turns 5 and then 6. That's going to give us the opportunity to have a very good run on him as we head into turn number 7. Drop it down to 2nd gear here. We're going to secure P4 and immediately start to apply a lot of pressure to the guy in 3rd place. This is once again the part of the track where my car felt absolutely fantastic. So you'll see here that he struggles to get on the power just a little bit. That's going to mean that we make contact with him coming through turn number 11, headed into turn number 12. He's going to go for a bit of a switchback move. He goes a bit deep, but that does leave him on the inside for turn number 13. He once again goes wide as we head into turn number 14, however. So like we have all race, we will get a very good run headed down the main straight. Coming through that last turn will once again be in a drag race with Star-Lord. Now we find ourselves in P3, spotting our braking point once again around the 100-meter board, and that will be that position absolutely secured for us with only 2 laps left in this race. And to this point, after starting in P4, dropping down into P number 8 after the first set of turns in lap number 1, this has been one of our better comeback efforts. So as we fast forward now to the start of the last lap, we are managing a bit of tire wear, as you can see in the bottom right there, making evidence of that. Star-Lord is actually going to once again outbrake himself headed into turn number 1. That'll lose him time to myself and the guy Chemesis in 4th place. So I'll leave you guys to enjoy the battle between myself and Chemesis behind us for the rest of this lap. I'll join you back again in the end. And as you can see here, disaster has struck as we simply lost our braking point in the sunlight. Going to the replay here, you see you just cannot see the sign, even though it is certainly there. So after starting P4, we're gonna come across the line now in P5. It was one of our better comeback efforts to date. Still had a lot of fun, folks. If you did like the video, please leave a like and a comment down below. Once again, thanks for joining us. We'll be back on track soon enough.